Hello everyone, I'm Ep20,
And I am Sandman99.
and welcome back to Diablo PC Solo Warrior playthrough.
Yeah, and this is the first one since Christmas time?
Is it the first one since Christmas?
Or is it the second one? I can't remember.
I thought it might have been the second
It
one.
might be the second one, yeah.
Yeah.
We've had such a busy recording schedule that one thing kind of runs into another, it seems like, lately.
That it does, yeah.
But anyway, you, as I recall, in the last one, your pace slowed to a crawl, and you only managed one level last episode.
That's right. But I was maybe being a little bit overcautious. It's just those charge attacks can do so much damage.
Yep.
Right. And so that's what I was really exercising caution for.
Well, and on this super hard difficulty level, too, you probably pretty much have to play cautiously, too, right?
Well, it's just because everything does so much damage, right? And we're optimized to do a lot of damage too, right? But the thing is we're specialized basically for one-on-one combat. It's basically how we're set up. So a lot of things could probably kill us in 2 or 3 hits. And I need to go over to the caves entrance. I'm totally in the wrong
That's
part
right.
of the...
There is no town portal there.
Yeah. I'm like, what am I looking for? Maybe we should pause while I walk down.
Yeah, because it's going to be a bit of a hike.
Yeah, I've got to go all the way down to level 10 so that we can start level 11. And we're back on level 10 because we just realized that we never did break all these barrels and stuff.
Yeah. Holy cow, there was a barrel that actually had something in it?
Yep.
That's rare.
I guess that mana potion doesn't exist after all.
Oh,
Can't pick it up.
It's just an imaginary mana potion.
Yep, imaginary mana potion.
Yeah.
But it looks like that just comes out over here.
Yeah.
Wonder if I can pick up that small shield. Yep, I could pick up the small shield. I just couldn't pick up the random field plate or the random mana potion. But anyways, I guess we'll pause now again while I go to the level 11 entrance. And we're back, and everything seems to be desyncing on floor 10 there, so...
Yeah, there's all sorts of things that you can see but you can't interact with.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of hoping it's not something weird like I went and started my VPN after I started the game. Because I kind of fucked up and got the order wrong. So, I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, those guys are pretty tanky.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got spitters. And that's not good because we don't have a weapon that can really deal with them. We're basically just hitting them really hard. With a weapon that is non-optimized against them.
Oh, here comes a whole bunch more.
Ow.
Wow, that does quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, it does. So I need to do this. You got all these mana potions for a reason. I think it's going to be one of those kinds of levels.
Yeah. Where you have to make repeated trips back to town to buy more blue potions.
Where I have to make repeated trips back to town and also buy a whole ton of mana potions.
Oh wow, look at this. You got the full mixture there.
Yep.
And more coming from the other direction now, too. Ooh. Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty hectic, ain't it?
Yeah, this is a pretty tough start.
Ow.
Yeah, that hurt.
Okay, well, that's okay. It's just me and this guy now. Are we good?
What'd you drop? What did he drop?
Well, there's some gold, a scroll of chain lightning, That's about it. Chain lightning's not really going to do me any good.
Wow. You're rather heavily going through your healing potions here.
Well, we don't really have a place to choke these enemies, right?
Yeah.
At least we have some resistances, because I'm wearing that resistance amulet right now. That's with 47% resist that does that damage.
Yeah. Ouch.
Yeah, we'd probably be dead if we didn't have resistances.
Yeah.
Damn it. Stone cursed the wrong one. That's fine.
Well, at least you managed to freeze that one so that they couldn't both attack you at the same time, right?
True.
I don't think I've ever seen such a mixture of enemies on a level before.
Yep. There's been such mixtures before.
You got a little bit of everything here.
Those guys are so tanky.
Yeah, really.
Even with the stone curse, they're tanky.
Yeah.
And in not being able to hit half the time isn't great either.
Yeah, you still haven't found that end game weapon yet.
I don't know if I ever will. I checked Griswold again for it. Alright, you can make it through this with Stone Curse, but you just have to Stone Curse literally everything.
Yeah, by the looks of it. That's going to be the theme of the day. The Stone Curse episode. Well, they can't get to you around the barrels, hey?
Apparently not. Oh yeah, he can. He figured it out. The other guy hasn't figured it out. So that's okay, we'll just take advantage of this. Well, they are supposed to be like acid-spitting dogs, right? So, you know, nobody said they were smart. See, all that magic that we have now is actually coming in handy.
Well, one thing anyway. This game certainly had an interesting soundtrack.
Yeah, the sound designer for it, like, this was like one of his passion projects, eh?
Yeah.
He did a really good job.
It seems like in modern games, though, they have a lot of stuff that distracts away from this sort of thing.
The atmospheric music, you mean?
Yeah. You know, because they've got all kinds of dialogue options and characters talking to each other while you're wandering around and, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, so there isn't
the same kind of atmospheric music.
Yeah. So, in a way, I guess you maybe gain something immersive in the New Year games, but you also, it's a trade-off. You lose something too, right?
That's right, yep.
Because it's pretty, you know, like especially, I think the Dragon Age games are a good example of that, where they actually had enough voice lines recorded that your party members would talk to each other. And that was, you know, kind of fun at times, especially because some of the lines they said were kind of funny too, right?
Of course, I suppose you have to ask, who are you talking to in Diablo?
Yeah, well, true. I mean, this is pretty much a solo adventure, but, you know, there are other games of this time too that are similar to this, right?
Oh, look, and another one takes his place.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's not spitting at me.
Well, maybe he couldn't see you for momentarily or something.
If only I had a bow.
His path to you is blocked or something maybe there?
I have no idea. This game has all kinds of little quirks that are present in the caves. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, this is a bad idea. We're just gonna do this.
Yeah.
Scroll of Identify. Wow.
Well, that's useful. You're gonna have to just go in after that one because he's stuck there.
That's okay. We'll just kind of draw these guys back here.
Yeah, I guess if you stand around the corner where that spitter can't spit at you, then...
We're good.
Well, it's almost time to go back to town.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm not even going to push it. I'm just going to go back to town.
Yeah, because you need to buy lots and lots of potions now.
We'll use these guys up.
Yeah, I guess you might as well use the ones you've already purchased, right?
Actually, I didn't even purchase those. I think I found those. Now we can just go to Adria.
Yeah.
There's no need for Pepin here. See, maybe Pepin tried to sell people Falmer Blood Elixir. That's why a man with magical healing powers is in a dead-end town like this.
Yeah.
I sense a soul in search of answers.
Well, what eventually happens to all of these NPCs? I mean, is there any, you know, lore or anything concerning that, or?
Yeah, they get a perfectly happy ending of dying in a fire.
Oh.
You actually get to visit them in the next game.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
But how do you visit them if they're dead?
I guess you'll have to see in the next game.
Or do they die in the next game? I love a happy ending.
This game is known for its happy endings.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you know what? I played this game through a few times just so I could try out each of the characters, but this game didn't quite have the replayability for me that it does maybe for you, because I'm more of a happy ending kind of guy.
For me, I never even paid attention to the story. I just, like, went into the dungeon and killed shit, and that was fun.
Yeah.
Not enough mana.
Ow.
Wow, did that one actually finally follow you out?
Yep, and it hurt. Ow. Yeah, these guys kind of suck.
Oh well. Anyway, I always was one for the happy ending, and I like the story-driven type things.
Oh man, I can't even, like, part of the reason I never even played through all of Dragon Age is because it was story driven and I had to, like, talk to people and make decisions, and it was just like, man, I just want to kill shit with a sword.
Yeah. Well, apparently the story-driven thing, people seem to need, some people, at least a lot of people, seem to need more than that, right?
Yeah, they need a story-driven game for some reason.
Yeah.
I can't say I understand it myself, being a guy who is not story-driven whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to criticize people for it.
I'll have to say that particularly Dragon Age 3, like the Inquisition game, had a terrific story, though, but it was just a little bit too button mashy, I guess. Ooh. Ow. Ow.
Yeah, okay. There's lots of guys there coming.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just retreat. Break line of sight.
And also, you had a tendency to, you know, like you would run into some extremely tough, you know, like beyond your level type encounters in areas where you get into, you know, early in the game too, right? Like I didn't like being ambushed like that.
Yeah.
Because it, you know, there was a couple of places where even if you, like, I'd been playing the game a bit and gotten to the reasonably good at the tactics and all that kind of stuff, but there are certain encounters that you just will run into early in the game that you just can't win, right? And then you gain a couple or 3 levels and go back, and then you win no problem, right?
Yeah, maybe a better way to design those counters would be you can win if you play strategically and correctly.
Well, they needed to balance them to the character level, basically, right? You know?
I wonder if there's going to be... I bet you there's going to be a lightning thrower boss on this level.
Because, you know, like even in the Dragon Age Origins and that particular series of them, like there was a whole bunch of DLCs and that sort of thing associated with those. You didn't run into some of those really, really bad situations, right? Well, like there were some challenging encounters and you had to play well and you had to think and plan and that kind of thing, but there weren't any really unwinnable situations, right?
Yeah.
And the way they had the game set up too, you couldn't just wander into an area early in the game where you didn't belong too, right? But I guess they were trying out the open world sandboxing thing a little bit too, right? And that gave you the freedom to enter areas that were severely overleveled, and you didn't find out until you actually went there, right?
These guys are pretty squishy. They're just very deadly.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all offense, right?
That's all right. Well, we can use that scroll of identify now.
Yeah. What are you going to identify?
I've identified that bow of vigor.
And also it was a bit, like, I guess I could deal with it, but it was a bit jarring in Dragon Age 2 as well, the change that they made from Dragon Age Origins, right? In the way that the game played and handled.
Yeah, because it had a very tactical style that was adopted from the old Neverwinter Nights game.
Yeah. And then when you went to Dragon Age 2, suddenly you had, like, button mashing combination attacks and all that kind of stuff, right? And, no, I wasn't really too sure that I liked that. And also, they tended to reuse a lot of the
encounter areas?
Encounter area floor plans.
So there wasn't as much variety.
Yeah. So, from what I understand, Dragon Age 4 is out, but I'm not too sure. I might look at some gameplay just to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
You know, like see if somebody's doing a Let's Play or something on YouTube, just to see if it's something that I might like to play.
I heard Angry Joe was a big fan of that game.
Really?
No.
No, it wasn't.
No, not at all.
Well, the thing is, though, when you said that, the reason that I sort of assumed that you were not being facetious is because I have seen reviews by him for games that he has actually given the thumbs up to, right?
Yeah.
You know, like he doesn't just say bad things. That's not his shtick. If the game deserves a good review, he gives it a good review, you know?
Look at these guys. They're just standing there looking at
that. If you had a lightning bolt spell or something right now, or a firewall, are these guys immune to fire or what?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, okay. Well, if you had a lightning bolt spell, you could just lightning bolt the crap out of them, right?
Of course, I can just beat them to death across the lava, too.
Yeah. With that long-reaching flail.
Yep.
You just undo a lock and extend the chain out a little bit further.
That's
or
right.
What?
Totally. That flail that has a wooden shaft and no obvious chain whatsoever.
Yeah, it's the extendo flail.
Actually looks like a warhammer there.
Yeah.
Rather than a flail. That's just because they give you like a generic blunt weapon.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more variety in blunt weapons than there is in swords, I guess. Although this particular armor set uses the broadsword for everything.
Yeah.
They just assumed you'd use a broadsword, and I guess nobody ever figured you'd use a bastard sword. I don't know.
But anyway, I have to confess that while I did spend quite a few hours in Dragon Age Inquisition, I never actually finished the game. I got close to the end of it a couple of times, but it was just such a marathon that after a while also it kind of just felt repetitive.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of how it was for me for Dragon Age 1, except not repetitive. Instead it was mostly just, I just didn't like all the story, all the talking.
Well, I mean, the story was kind of, like necessary to give motivation for the game because of the way they had it built, right? Like there has to be a reason for all this dungeon crawling and that kind of thing. But I could have done without the, like the relationship stuff and that kind of thing.
Yeah, that stuff is always awkward in games. Oh, wow.
But that seems to be a thing as well in video games nowadays. Wow, there's a lot of those guys.
Yeah, I'm making it worse on myself here.
Yeah. Yeah, you're getting clobbered. That's not a way out.
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
Okay, maybe it's not.
Okay, maybe it's not. That was a terrible idea. You need to go someplace and take some refuge here and go back to town and resupply now.
Well, that's okay.
Because you definitely bit off more than you could chew there.
We're all good. We're fine. Everything is fine, damn it. Now we actually have to go talk to Pepin.
You have to go talk to Pepin now. But yeah, I mean, that's what I would have to say is that by the time I got, like, say, 3/4 of the way through Inquisition, even though it really had some good story moments and that kind of thing, very engaging, is that just the whole combat and encounter system was just exhausting, right?
Ah.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while.
Well, there's an amber cloak. If we needed more resistance shit, I don't think we do. I think we can hit...
I don't think you need something with that low armor.
Well, it depends. If we end up in, like, an all-mage level or something. But then if we end up in an all-mage level, I think I have this shield.
Yeah.
That will do the job for me. So anyway, that's basically what I have to say about the Dragon Age series, is that I liked Origins and the associated DLCs and direct sequels the best. And Dragon Age 2, not quite as much, and Dragon Age 3, like I said, I didn't enjoy it enough that I actually finished it. So. Yeah. I don't know. There's especially as games have gotten more story driven, I've actually completed less of them.
Yeah.
And then also too, I spent that like very long stint playing competitive fighting games too, right? And so that kind of affected the amount of gaming that I did as well, because
Yeah, well, your preference is in a completely different area, right?
yeah,
Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, if everybody liked the same thing, then there'd only be one kind of thing out there, right?
but as a result, I tend to play a lot of older games because they tend to they can still tend to have like RPG elements in them and things like that.
Yeah.
But they don't tend to have so much of the story, decision-making, moral crisis stuff in them.
Yeah, well, that's another thing I don't really necessarily like either, is the morals and ethics problems that you're faced with in a lot of these games nowadays.
Yeah.
I'd rather not, just not do that, right?
That's how I feel about it.
I mean, even in Skyrim, they had a certain amount of that kind of thing. That's why I tend to avoid the Civil War quest line.
Yeah.
Because I just don't like the idea that I've become Thane in half a dozen holds, and then
You're going to overthrow yourself?
And then no matter what I do in that Civil War quest, or even if I decide to try and broker a peace between the two sides, while I'm still taking some of my friends' territory away and giving it to others and that kind of thing, right? I just don't like that.
Yeah.
I'd rather be more in control, because I found even with the neutral negotiation type thing that went on, I didn't have any control over the outcome.
Yeah.
And if I am the single most individually powerful and individual or influential person in the entire country, well, I felt like I should have had more of a say in how things turned out.
Probably also the most powerful person in the country.
Yeah, like you guys will sit down and get along or else kind of thing.
Yeah, there should be a I get to kill you all solution there.
Well, or at least binding suggestions, right? That's why I actually like mods like the Parthenax dilemma, because you go through that main quest line, and eventually Delphine wants you to kill Parthenax, even though Parthenax doesn't really deserve it, just because he's a dragon and she hates him. And so the Parthenax dilemma basically allows you to give Delphine and Esbern shit and tell them that you're not going to kill Parthenax and that they're jerks for wanting you to do it. And then they'll kind of, apologize and come around to your way of thinking, because you're the Dragonborn, right? You're in charge. Without you, they don't have anything, right? And that's the way it should be. That's the way I think the vanilla game should have been.
Yeah.
Basically, instead of allowing Delphine to push you around and basically blackmail you, like, I'm not going to help you anymore if you don't do what I want. It's like, fuck you, You're going to do what I want, because I'm in charge. And that's, I think that's the way they should have approached it in the vanilla game instead of the way that they did, right? Because then you're having to make one of those stupid ethical decisions where there isn't a way to keep everybody happy, even yourself, right?
Let me just kill that guy.
Yeah.
There.
The firewall doesn't seem to bother those red guys at all.
No, they're fire immune.
But it gets rid of that nuisance guy that was shooting the lightning at you.
That's right.
And Fallout 4 was even worse that way, in a way, because with some of the factions that you chose, well, you had to betray and actually even kill some of the people that you had made friends with earlier, right?
Yep.
And I hated that. Like, I played through the Brotherhood of Steel ending once, and that was it. That was enough for me, right? And I never did play through the Institute ending just because I didn't like the idea, again, that I'd have to go back and, you know, basically kill my friends, right?
Yep.
In order to keep the Institute side of things happy.
Not enough mana.
You know, it's probably more mana efficient to just teleport over there and pick up all that gold.
That's
With
it.
how crappy my telekinesis spell is.
Yeah. So yeah, I really think that in modern games like that, they should leave the moral and ethical questions out of it. And, you know, just let you be the good guy if you want to be the good guy, right?
I mean, I don't even need to be the good guy. I just need to be the pointy end and the bad guy.
Yeah.
Don't make it hard for me.
Well, I don't think they even make games that are that simplistic anymore as
Not
far
outside of indie games, mostly.
Yeah.
Some games you can kind of just ignore it. Some games, not so much. That's probably why I mostly play older games these days.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I found the stairs down.
Oh, you did. And a chest. With some gold in it.
See, why I teleported down is so that I don't draw anybody who's on the right-hand side of the room out. If they happen to be there. Like this guy.
Games like this are kind of refreshing in that you don't have to deal with that nonsense. And I mean, even the gold box games, they had, you know, like a story. So you sort of followed along with the story, but at least you weren't forced to make decisions that would may leave a bad taste in your mouth no matter what you decided. You know? To me, I don't mind having to make decisions and be either the good guy or the bad guy, but I don't like those morally ambiguous decisions where no matter what you decide, you feel bad about what you had to decide, right?
Yeah. Because usually, too, sometimes there really are just clear-cut solutions to these things, but the game doesn't give you an option to pick a clear-cut solution, right?
Yeah.
I really actually would probably make my decisions kind of like that, too, eh? Like, you know, you're going to get along, or you're going to get the pointy end.
Yeah. Well, you know, like using that negotiation...
Coercion!
You know, Civil War negotiation thing that you have to go through in the main quest line in order to continue with it. I would have rather been able to be firm with both sides, and instead of swapping territories back and forth, just basically force them to stop fighting, right? You know?
Yeah, can we do it at sword point?
Because you don't have to, you know, like all of that territory swapping, as far as I could tell, was completely unnecessary, right? And did absolutely nothing for me.
Yeah.
Except make me feel bad because no matter which, you know, no matter who decided what. And then for some reason, even though it was all of the other people sitting at the table making these decisions, because I happened to be there, then the ones who get displaced all blame me, right?
Yep.
Which is bullshit, because I had no say in what was decided and had no ability to affect the outcome, right?
Yep. Wow, did I clear out, like, most of the enemies in this level? Now it's just, like, empty space?
This appears to be going better than the last time.
Yeah, there's just nobody out here.
Well, I'm sure you'll run into a big pack somewhere because there's still a little bit of map unexplored here, right?
Yeah, the area just south of the original area that I was exploring.
Yeah, you'll probably run into a big pack. You said you think there might be a boss pack in here somewhere.
Lightning throwers, I'm suspecting, but it's possible that there isn't. Maybe they'd have to be the red ones instead of the blue ones, or maybe they'd have to be, you know, the orange ones instead of the peach-colored ones instead of the blue ones. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because there are 4 different colors of them. There's red, blue, orange, or peach, and then black. And I think the red ones are the weakest, and the blue ones are second weakest. And there's the peach ones. I don't know why peach is the thing, and then there's the black ones.
Yeah. Actually,
you don't see these types of enemies in other games. Like, they never come back.
You're in trouble there, I think.
Yep. That's okay. We'll teleport down here and get a stone curse ready.
See, I think a game that you might like would be like the Kingdoms of Amalur or something like that. Because I think that that one, while there's sort of a very loose story, it's mostly, you know, like the, you know, stick pointy end into bad guy kind of a thing, right?
Yeah, well, the main thing is that...
it seems to be, like, I played that one a little bit. I didn't play a whole bunch of it. But it seems to me like that one is a little bit more akin to the type of play that you prefer.
Well, I mean, I've played games like that before, and then, like, don't get me wrong, I don't dislike a good action RPG, but at the same time, I prefer something a little bit more tactical in nature, too, right? That makes you think a little bit, kind of like this game.
Yeah.
And so that sort of tactical thing is not really offered by modern games of this type, because as you can see, like, most things kill me in 2 to 3 hits. I have to be very careful, I have to scout.
Yeah.
Right? In modern games of this type, you make your character build, and then you just kind of wade through hordes and hordes of enemies, and it's just like, it's boring, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it's meaningful.
Well, like I said, I did not play that game a lot, but I was playing basically the dual-wielding rogue archetype because that is my preferred character type. And, you know, like, you have a lot of acrobatic, evasive maneuvers and that kind of thing that you can do.
Yep.
And I found that I had to use those quite a bit, especially against bosses. Because the bosses, if they hit you a couple of times, you could be in pretty bad trouble, right? So you had to use some of those acrobatic, evasive maneuvers in order to avoid getting, you know, like one-shotted, right?
Yeah.
But again, though...
Which is kind of like, say, a Souls game, right? Like, Souls games are a lot like that, where you have the big bosses and you have to roll around and not get hit by them, and then you have to hit their weak points and things like that.
But again, though, I found the character class system in that game to be a bit overly complex. You know, like, I spent more time trying to figure out how to optimize my character than I did actually playing, kind of thing, right?
That's another problem of most modern games of this type, right? Because in this game, a warrior is basically a fighter.
Yeah.
Right? He swings a weapon, and yeah, he can learn spells because he's a little more generalized than just a plain Jane fighter. But he's basically a fighter from D&D.
Yeah.
Right? And, like, not just, like, new D&D, where there's, like, all kinds of abilities and things, like old D&D, where, like, basically he has his attacks and that's it.
Yeah.
Right? And that's one of the things that I like about this game, is that it's not overly complicated, and it's really about taking simple tools and applying them creatively in order to come up with solutions to some of the encounters that you hit.
Yeah.
But that's just not the type of game that a lot of people want to play, right?
Yeah. Well, anyway, I just found the whole thing to be a bit overwhelming, and also you started off in an isolated area in a gigantic map, right? And, you know, like I said, I found the whole thing to be a bit, like the scope even of it was a bit much, right?
Yep. Ow.
you know, even some of the things like armor and weapon characteristics and that kind of thing were a bit difficult to understand. To see, you know, what makes this piece of armor better than that piece of armor kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know?
I wouldn't know. I've never played that particular game, but...
Well, that's what I found anyway. And I like I said, I got a few hours into it. Maybe, I don't know, like 80 or 100 hours, but that was enough, right?
Yep. Well, either it jives with you or it doesn't, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I gave it enough time to give it a chance, but it just didn't really...
How am I doing on time there?
Oh, well, you're at 40 minutes, so, you know, if you've already cleared out this level, it went remarkably well.
Maybe we should start another floor then. I'm sure the viewers would appreciate it.
Yeah, well, 40 minutes is a bit short for an episode, so...
Okay, I'm gonna have to take a 5,000 pile with me.
Yeah, because you've got a lot of potions to buy.
Yep. How am I doing on that mace? 8 out of 34?
Wow, it's getting beat up pretty bad. You're gonna have to get Griswold to start repairing it so it doesn't deteriorate anymore. Especially because it's looking like that's going to be the weapon you're going to be stuck with for the rest of the game, right?
Well, it started out as like 8 out of 30, or it started out like something out of 36.
Yeah.
Well, what can I do for you?
But I'm just trying to make it stretch as long as I can.
So, I don't know. I mean, you know what? You don't need the flashy combos and the fancy, flashy magical attacks and all that kind of stuff. You just need to have a good, solid game with, you know, that's easy to understand and easy to pick up, right? And I think that's probably why I think that Kingdoms of Amalur was not as popular as maybe the designers had hoped. Because I think a lot of people probably had trouble picking that one up, right? I know I did.
Well, sometimes simple is better, right? That's personally what I feel.
What ails you, my friend?
Right, because, you know, I'm still playing this game. This game came out in 96.
Yeah.
I'm still playing this game because of all of the depth that it has in the combat. I just enjoy the combat. That's why I play this game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know about the story. I don't really care about the story. There's only like, I don't know, 8 quests in the whole game anyways.
Yeah. Well, I'm sort of like
half.
halfway in between. I'm not an absolute story-driven guy, but I like a bit of the story, and I like to be able to have a certain degree of control over the outcome.
Yeah.
But the problem with a lot of the more modern story-driven games is that they basically use the story to lead you around by the nose too, right?
Yep.
And, you know, like I feel like I don't really have a great deal of control, even though I'm the central character in the whole thing. I don't really have a great deal of influence on how things turn out, right?
Yep.
Well, what can I do for you?
Okay, the only thing that needs repairs is the flail. Everything else can be forgotten about. Doesn't matter. Down to the next floor we go. Can't believe I'm saying that on hell difficulty.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a sip of my pop here.
Well, we'll have to see what you've got on this level.
Could be dangerous. Very dangerous. Okay, let's see here. I don't like this start already. There's a door, though.
Oh,
That's spitters.
More spitters. Inside a room, no less. Wow. You're taking a beating there.
Yep.
Looks like more of the same. Like more of the same enemies, right? Wow.
Ooh, that was gonna kill me.
And a charging guy too now. Wow.
Okay, let's just take care of this.
Wow, that's rough. This could be a slower floor again.
I think we're good though now that we have this room.
Well, all the red guys and the chargers here, well, they can only come through one little doorway at a time, so you can kind of just stand there and hack away with it.
That's right. So it all works out in the end. Yeah, I might have gotten a little bit hasty here when I saw the doorway, but I just really wanted this doorway.
Uh-huh. Well, that cost you a few health potions, that's for sure.
Yeah, but now we can clear out all these guys without using any.
Yeah.
So I suppose that's one way you can look at it. Another way you can look at it is hopelessly reckless behavior.
See, that's the thing that I thought was a good...
I gotta pawn some of this stuff.
what I thought was a good change that they made from, say, this game to the Champions games, though, was that your health and your magic regenerate
Over time.
over time. And I thought that was a good thing because, you know, like if you start to run low on potions a little bit and you need to, you know, like hide in a little spot like this and take a rest, you can still recover somewhat, right?
If you're patient enough, I usually just recall back.
Yeah. Well, it depends on how many resources you have to do that kind of thing, right?
See, we'll just force him to walk all the way around this little room so he won't charge me. He could still charge me right here.
Yeah. But that's, I have to say that that's one of the reasons I like the Champions games so much, because they were, you know, like a good combination of simple and, you know, plenty of variety in weapons and armor and enemies and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you could, you know, like customize and build your character somewhat.
I can't say that that kind of thing ever really mattered much to me. If I'm honest, I still prefer this game over that game. But they're basically like part of a genre, right? So, you know, I play them all.
Yeah.
That's basically how I look at it. Well, that was a really pointless room.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
It's okay.
The only problem is they can shoot you through the wall.
Yeah, and they can shoot the crap out of me too. But it is what it is.
Why did you do that?
I wasn't sure if he was going to come through the doorway right away, and I didn't want to get shot again.
Oh.
It just so happened he came through the doorway right away again.
Mm. That's the lore book again. Oh, here comes some more of these guys now.
Yeah, there's like 14 lore books or something like that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm probably better off letting them try to hit me instead of shoot me.
Yeah. You seem to have better defense against that, right?
Yeah, well, we definitely are focusing on it because we have that really high armor class helmet on right now. But even then, that's not sufficient. We're still going to run into trouble as soon as we hit to level 13. Just hope that we don't encounter Blood Knights. But yeah, there's like, I don't know, a whole shitload of lore books. And I don't really know how many of them there are. come on, guys. We'll just fight them down here. Oh, here comes a guy. Wow, fuck me.
Wow, that's a lot of
We're gonna break line of sight there and get inside our room.
You think those things are smart enough to find their way to you all this way?
I really have no idea. But we're gonna have to stone curse them, that's for sure. Short warbow.
Well, here comes one.
I was expecting more than one, though.
Yeah.
Hence the stone curse.
Looks like they're not all smart enough to find their way out through the doorway.
Resist lightning immune magic, huh? Looks like a couple of them did, though. They just couldn't figure out their way around the corner.
Yeah.
Not enough mana.
Oh, gotta waste a mana potion on that. Gotta hate that sometimes. Probably because I don't have the +4 to all attributes ring on anymore.
Yeah.
Because I switched so that their ranged attacks would do less damage to me.
Not enough mana.
Yeah, we'll just walk through that. Getting hit by your own firewall is less damaging than getting hit by a charge.
Some of those guys charge you.
That's right.
Well, look on the bright side. They have to actually walk into the firewall in order
They're
to
immune to
attack.
fire.
Are they? Oh.
Yeah. It was a shit idea. I just didn't want to deal with that one guy, and I didn't know how many more spitters were across the door. So I'll just ad hoc justify a bullshit reason why I wasted my time with firewall.
I gotta pawn some of this stuff.
Yeah, you're full now.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Wow.
Okay, this was a terrible
This was
idea.
a terrible idea. You shouldn't have done that.
Not enough mana.
Yeah, you need to get the hell out of there now. Wow.
Okay, mouse cursor. There. We need potions. Yo, I thought I could go and be smart there, and no. No, I can't.
Yep, that wasn't very smart.
Oh well.
It's generally a bad idea to teleport into the space where you can get attacked by
It's fine.
16 enemies at
Everything
once.
worked out fine. There was no risk involved whatsoever. Actually, I was lucky I had a rejuvenation potion on my belt there.
Yeah.
We might just buy another one because of that. Even though they're like 600.
It's good to have one in case you need it, hey?
Hello,
Yeah,
my friend.
it was good to have that
Stay a
one
while
right
and
there.
listen.
That saved our life. Because I don't think I could have made it into my inventory in time to drink a mana potion.
Yeah. And if you had to go back and with backup equipment to go back there again, I think you'd be screwed.
Well, I'd have to stone curse every single enemy and fight them one at a time.
Yeah, but it would be hard for you to do that because without all your ability enhancing gear and that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, I'd basically be doing one enemy, one-on-one combat, with probably a normal weapon that I buy from Griswold. That's the situation we'd be in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be pretty grim. I guess I have that sword still laying there. That would help a little bit. That sword actually does more damage than this flail.
I sense a soul in search of answers.
Well, so far, this level seems to be basically just a continuation of the previous level.
Yeah, although the chargers make things more difficult, right? Especially because they're the strongest kind.
Uh-huh.
That makes it really nasty. Thankfully, though, we have a whole bunch of space cleared out, so we actually have a place we can draw these guys. I'm just gonna step to the side here so that he has to walk through that door.
Oh. Oh.
We're good.
Yeah, now you can hold that choke point. And
Yeah, these guys can have up to 800 hit points.
you have to hit them rather a lot.
Yeah, and I have a 32% chance to critical hit now and do double damage. So 32% of the time we do like 120 to like 160 points of damage.
Wow.
I don't think any other class actually has that. I think that's a warrior specialty.
Yeah.
It's the thing that makes him him. That and the really fast block speed, but the rogue can get the same fast block speed, right? Yeah, I think our critical hit chance maxes out at 50%, because you can max out at level 50, right? But we're not gaining hardly any experience from these guys. Ow. Did I even gain experience from that guy? I don't even know.
Well, you must gain something.
Well, there's a lot of bugs related to experience gain in this game.
Oh.
And experience overflow and things like that. So we might not even be getting experience for killing these guys anymore.
Well, I guess one way to confirm that is to look at how much you got, and then see if the number changes after you kill one of these guys, right?
Yeah, these bugs are particularly hell difficulty. So 27177. Okay. 27241. Okay. So we got like 10k from him. 2735 or 305.
Yeah, so you get a few hundred XP from some of these.
Well,
guys.
I get 1,000 from the spitters, and I get 10,000 from the fatties.
Oh.
But considering how many experience points I need to level up, that is not that much.
Oh, because you probably need like XP in the millions or what?
Well, let's see here. 3, 6, 7, 8. It's tens of millions.
Wow. I don't know. By this time, I would have already started over with a different character.
Too much baggage.
Wow, you're getting clobbered.
It's okay.
Yeah, you need to keep moving so they can't hit you. Wow, how many of them were there in that little tiny room?
A whole bunch. 4. 4.
Wow, I can't believe you actually had space there without the fire.
Yep. See, that's why the tile-based thing is good, right? Because it actually gives you some strategy, right?
Yeah.
This is a strategy. This is a tactical maneuver, right? And I can do this because I know that every single game is like a tile, right? And you can even see it with the lighting, right? You can see tile, 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 tile,
Yeah,
tile.
I remember the old Tomb Raider games were set up like that on a grid system like that too.
Yeah.
And you would learn things like eventually if you could if you used the walk button, you could walk up to the edge of say a drop off or something.
Yep.
And your character would stop, and then you could take 2 slow steps back, and then when you go forward at full speed, you know that you have 2 running steps before you have to jump, and you'll jump exactly at the edge of the block, right?
Yeah. And that's something I really personally like, because it gives you, it might not be as precise with, like, say, the ability to turn 360 degrees. I can only turn in 8 directions, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I can turn this direction, 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 and this direction. But it gives you an incredible degree of accuracy over where you actually want to end up. So I can teleport between that doorway and my firewall if I want to, and not suffer any ill consequences from imprecision. Or from precision, right? Because I know if I click on the tile, I'm going to the tile.
Yeah.
And that's something that a lot of modern games lack in a lot of different ways. It's present in platformers, it's present in platformers, it's present in games like this, like even games that are sub-modern, like say Champions, which are getting pretty old now, or even Diablo 2, the sequel to this game. They're not as accurate, they're more precise, but not as accurate.
Well,
because, Champions is a full 3D space with full 3D movement.
Yeah.
And Diablo 2 uses a, I believe, hex tile system instead of a square tile system. And both of those things really screw up positioning a lot. They just make positioning, like, nearly impossible. And so the games kind of become a, I just want to hit as hard as possible and one-hit kill thing, rather than, you know, I'm going to sit here and strategically position myself and try to limit the number of encounters, because no matter what you do, you're basically never going to be accurate enough.
You are so full you can't even pick up gold.
It's fine. We can pick it up now. But no matter how you position yourself, you're never going to be accurate enough so that you can fight an enemy one-on-one like you can in this game.
Yeah.
And that's really something that is a pet peeve of mine regarding the modern genre.
Well,
and it kind of goes, too, with sub-pixel movement in platformers, too. Because platformers used to use, and this is going to get a little bit technical, they used to use a bit shifting system to run their coordinate systems instead of using, like, what they refer to as floating point numbers, which are, like, extraordinarily precise but not very accurate. Which means that you could move, like, 1/16th of a pixel if you wanted to, if you tapped the button for 1 frame. Right? And so it's things that like that I really appreciate about these older games, the very high degree of accuracy, and I don't like that we traded accuracy for precision in modern gaming, because I don't think it added anything.
Well, the introduction of the analog sticks, I think, as the main control device is probably, what gave them the ability to do that.
That's right. It gave them the ability to do that, but it also kind of ruined how positioning works in games. And I was always kind of resentful of that. It's actually a bit of a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah, well, I know what you mean just by playing Madden, right? Because we play Madden 05 using a D-pad on a controller. And I find that I have a pretty good degree of control, you know, whether I'm on offense or defense, I have a pretty good degree of control of the player I'm controlling.
Yeah.
But then when we play Madden 12, well, you have to use the analog sticks to control your player. And I find it much more difficult to do, you know, like things like sharp turns or abrupt changes in direction and that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, and I mean, you could say, like, well, you can change yourself by a degree or fractions of a degree in the direction that you're facing. It's like, but how often do you actually
when
need to
you're
do that?
doing that at speed too, I mean, I'm just not, you know, when I'm under pressure and I'm trying to do those things fast, I can't do them accurately anyway with the analog stick, right? You know?
And I mean, you know what? Like, when I was playing competitive fighting games, I used D-pad there too.
Yeah.
All right, I still use the D-pad in competitive fighting games, or in fighting games, because I guess I'm not competitive anymore. I'm technically retired. I've been retired for like 10 years now. Although I had fun beating up a competitive friend the other day. Yeah, so that was fun.
Oh, well, he still is like in the competitive ring, or
semi, I suppose. He's sort of phased out now too, but he has more experience with the game that we were playing than I did.
you just got that didn't really do very much.
That's because I blocked it.
Oh,
that's why I just stood there. You don't want to try to move when they charge you, or they're guaranteed to hit you. If you stand still, at least you can block it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Again, it's just the whole precision thing. I don't like precision in my games. I like accuracy in my games. And there is a difference.
Yeah. Well, I have to say that I greatly prefer the Madden 05 control scheme to the Madden 12 control scheme anyway.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think that I'm fast enough that I'm able to pull off some feats with the higher degree of precision that Madden 12 does offer.
Yeah, well,
but
your running game is amazing.
At the same time, feats aren't really what the game should be focusing on, right?
No.
This is a terrible doorway to hold.
Yes, it is. You're all tied up by those melee guys, and you can't do anything about the spitters, right?
That's right.
Except take it on the chin.
Well, and the worst part about the melee guys, too, is they do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
They take a lot of hits. Oh, and of course another one fills the gap.
Yeah. Well, there's only 2 of them left now. Then you can get to the real things.
Well, that's why we have our healing spell. Oop, totally not clicking on them. See, that's another thing I do. I'm not necessarily targeting them like this.
Yeah.
I'm actually just facing a direction and swinging.
Yeah, and letting them come to you.
That's right.
Sort of like using a Ripper in Fallout 4.
You
just turn
go.
the thing on and let it buzz, and then let things run onto the blade, right?
There you go.
You don't charge or try to swing at them or whatever. You just press to start and then keep it on and let them all charge at you and run into it.
Now we gotta swap our potions around. Yeah, I can go back and pick up that kite shield if I organize my inventory a little bit here.
What is it, a magical kite shield?
It is, yes. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Because I kind of just left it behind. I didn't really want to go back to town at that point.
Yeah.
But we're starting to clear these guys out.
Well,
I think we're about probably half done this level now. Maybe 3/4 done. Or 2/3. Probably more closer to 2/3.
Well, it was nice of him to just rush right up there and attack you that way.
Yeah, it's just too bad he got a hit off.
Well, and they're just coming at you one at a time, too.
Yep, and this is why you don't target the demon, you target the tile.
Yeah.
Because then you can start swinging at that tile before he ever steps into it. As long as you know what direction they're going to approach from. It can be difficult to tell sometimes. I just kept him at range there.
Yep. Uh-oh, he got you twice.
Well, he does have a ranged attack.
Oh, got you again, too.
Twice more.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen with these guys, though. But this is another one of those strategy things, right? I know that if I stand here, they're gonna approach from a specific direction.
Uh-huh.
So I can start to take them on like that. Ow. That hurt, asshole.
Yeah. Well, I guess maybe it says something about the state of newer games that even my favorite games are like 10 or so years old now, right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm probably a bit more jaded by it than you. And probably most of my jading started when a particular game in this series never came out. Called,
yeah, okay.
Yeah, there was just never a sequel made to Diablo 2.
The game that you will not name?
Yep.
Because it's nameless, it shall remain nameless.
That's right.
Yeah.
It is nameless and it shall remain nameless.
Ooh, you're gonna get the crap shot out of you in that corner there now.
Maybe, but I have to hold this corner in order to stop the fatties from getting multiple shots at me.
It might be time to... Oh, okay, you can hide around the corner there and make them come at you one at a time by the looks of it.
If they'll actually come.
Yeah.
No, there's a fatty there. There's also a lot more guys there than I thought there was.
Yeah, wow, you're just taking a beating there.
It's okay, we can outlast the acid.
Are you standing in the acid puddle?
I'm standing in the acid puddle.
Yeah. That'll be hard on your boots, eh?
Well, we didn't have much of a choice there, though.
Yeah. You're walking around on the stumps of your ankles now?
Yeah, it's like that one movie where that guy walks through the lava, right?
Yeah. What movie was that again? I don't even remember.
Oh, hell, I can't remember. It was something about Mount St. Helens.
Oh, okay. Yeah, why did he do that?
I don't even remember now.
Yeah. He was doing something heroic, I think, right? Like saving somebody or something like that.
Getting killed. I don't know, it's been like probably well over a decade since I saw that movie. I don't even remember what it's called now.
Yeah. I'm not really a big disaster movie fan anyway.
Yeah, me either.
I remember at one time back in the 1970s, actually, those movies were really popular, right? You know, like the Towering Inferno and Airport and all that kind of stuff.
Weird.
Wow, there's a whole flurry of...
Yep, and we need to back up because I didn't grab that doorway in time because I went and got greedy and grabbed that potion instead.
Well, now they're coming from you every direction.
It's okay, we can hold this little choke point.
And they had, you know, like movies about airplanes crashing and skyscrapers on fire and ships sinking and all that kind of stuff. It was a real, like, it seems like movies go in fads, you know, like
yeah.
over a period of time. Like for a
Everybody
while.
saw that everybody was making a type of movie, so they all made it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's the same thing with westerns or cop shows or you know, like things with a more supernatural bent or whatever. You know?
Yeah.
For a while there, you know, like TV shows about you know, like supernatural creatures, vampires and werewolves and stuff like that was all the rage, and there was several of that type of genre on. Probably pretty much after the the Supernatural series, right? All of a sudden, when that came out and it was a hugely popular, all of a sudden, you know, everybody else was starting to make shows like that too, right? Or something in that similar genre, right?
Yep.
And it seems like some types of shows are always popular too, like the police procedurals and that kind of thing. You know, like there's always several of those kinds of shows on. Never been a fan of them myself, but you know, you surf through the TV guide, and you can usually find one of those playing on like 15 channels at once, right?
Yep.
You know, like a different one.
I don't think I need these barrels.
Too much baggage.
Yeah, you can't pick it up anymore. You can't carry it all.
It's fine. We have like a full belt of potions again. That's nice. We'll come back for that one.
What is that?
A healing potion.
Is that stairs down?
To level 13.
Wow. Okay.
That's to hell.
Well, you got a couple of relatively, you know, like they were nasty starts, but once you got started, they were actually relatively easy levels here, right?
Yeah, at least somewhat.
Well, you didn't have to play the run and hide game nearly as much as you did in the previous episode anyway.
Again, though, too, I think the previous episode I might have just been overcautious, too, because I was readjusting things after the Christmas break.
Oh, look, that one snuck around and got behind you.
It's okay. What we're going to do is we're going to do this.
Yeah.
They can walk around the other side all day. By the time he gets to the other side, I'll have killed this guy.
Yeah. Well, now he'll turn around and come back after you anyway.
And my mace is breaking.
Yeah.
I guess we'll get this shit identified and deal with the mace breaking problem.
Yep. Yeah, you wouldn't want to have to start punching them with your fists.
Believe it or not, actually, I do enough damage to probably stun lock them with my fists. The problem is not doing damage and killing them with my fists. The problem would be hitting them.
Hello, my
Because I'd have no chance to
Stay
hit.
a while and listen.
Crap, 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 crap. It's all crap.
Yeah, but you can probably sell it all, right?
Oh, what can I
Make
do for
even
you?
more money.
So, sort of accuracy, that's
You know,
crap.
I can see you sitting in your, you know, with that stone spike thing in the middle of your forehead, sitting there in your mansion on the hill,
Ha!
you know, with all the gold that you earned from doing this. And it's like, you know what? I just don't want to cause mayhem on Earth anymore. I just want to sit back and watch my, like, 120-inch big screen TV
Right.
For you?
and drink beer, right? You know, like... Let somebody else worry about that world domination stuff. That's too much work.
Trying to refresh Griswold's shop. Maybe we should check Wirt.
Word never has anything. I gave up checking on Wirt long ago, because all the little shit does is he makes you pay him a little bit of money so that you can look at whatever worthless item he is that he's trying to peddle, right?
Hey, you know what? He might have something good. If only we could cast spells in town.
Huh.
I can't cast that.
All right, why
here.
can't I teleport in
I
town?
can't cast
The,
that
the,
here.
the townsfolk gonna go into a rage?
No, the town is in an
can't cast that
anti-magic area or something, right?
Yeah, or something. I don't know. It's an illegal spell.
Yeah.
Actually, that's what, because you can use hacks and stuff to disable that.
Yeah.
If you had a one of the various trainers that were made for this game back in the day. That'd be great if instead it said Holy Robe, it said Holy Plate.
Yeah. See? He didn't have anything.
Yeah, well. But yeah, you know,
He
and
made that trip over here for nothing.
you could
Again.
basically hack your game and like make
Yeah.
it so that you can cast spells in town. But you could also do things like cast firewalls on top of people in town too.
Well, you know what would be really cool is if you could create some new spells, like based on the existing spells. So instead of just having a fire wall, you could have like a ice wall or a shock wall or something like that, right?
Actually, believe it or not, the
Or have-
lightning wall spell was introduced by Hellfire, the expansion.
Oh.
But we're not playing the expansion, we're playing vanilla.
What ails you, my friend?
Or, you know, like cone-shaped area effect spells too, right? You know, like, because one of the old gems from the Dungeons and Dragons days was called Cone of Cold.
Yep.
Right? So it'd be a cone shape radiating out from the spellcaster. And the further away it got, the wider the area of effect. It would be nice to have, you know, effects like that would, you know, hit multiple enemies, right?
Well, what ended up happening was instead, I think maybe it was with Hellfire, maybe it was with the Chernobog mod. I can't remember. That was another thing that was a remake of the Diablo engine. Maybe we'll have to play through that sometime, although I don't like it as much because it's basically got, like, no matter what you do, you're going to get killed by certain effects. And I always thought that was dumb.
In search of answers.
But anyways, I can't remember whether it was in that or in the expansion, but there's like a Ring of Fire spell that basically does a firewall, but it's like in a ring
Oh, yeah.
around you.
Cool.
So yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess that was like the fire equivalent to the Nova spell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I mean, you have enemies that have fire immunity or frost immunity or whatever. Well, it would be nice to have, you know, kind of like in Skyrim, where you've got, you know, basically fire, shock, and frost-based spells, right?
Yep.
And you can choose whatever is the most effective against the type of enemy that you're up against.
Yeah, this game does more of a fire, shock, and magic. General magic.
Yeah.
But it's the same kind of idea.
But I'm surprised. I wonder what technically would be involved in just doing that, creating some modified, you know, modded spells, right? Just with some new effects.
Well, I suppose it would depend on if you had the source code for this game, right?
Well,
Because
basically all you'd be doing is creating a duplicate, say, of the firewall, but having it, you know, like do cold damage or electrical damage or whatever instead.
yeah, well, that's
right?
basically what the Hellfire guys did, right? When they introduced the lightning wall spell.
Yeah.
Is this whole fucking area going to be loaded with spitters? At least they're half as tough as the fatties.
Oh, that guy just hit you in the back.
Yeah, he did. They don't get an advantage from doing that, by the way.
No,
From
there's
attacking from
there's no
behind.
advantage for attacking from behind.
Nope, not in this game. There's no advantage for attacking from behind.
Well, that's probably a good thing then.
That's why I didn't bother repositioning myself.
Oh, gotta walk through that acid pool now. Open that empty chest.
So I don't think he can charge through that much lava at once.
Yeah, that's probably, he can only probably go through one that's like a single box
Yeah, like
wide, right?
a little single box wide one.
See, that's interesting, because in the gold box games, frontage matters, right? Like, facing matters. And enemies that attack you from, you know, like the flank or from behind,
Get bonuses.
get, you know, they attack with advantage, right?
Yep. Yeah, no, there is no frontage or flanking in Diablo. Not in any game in this series that I know of.
So you don't have to watch your back nearly as much then.
That's right, yep. You just basically go in there and, like, my chance to block is 89 because my dexterity is 89. So that's it. And then I guess your chance to block gets modified. So, like, if they're a level 50 enemy and I'm level 32, then that's 18. You subtract 18 from my 89, and that's my real chance to block.
Yeah. Well, I know from the old DOS days, I used to have all the gold box games. I don't know, are those even playable on modern computers?
Yes, I play them a decent amount myself.
Yeah.
Yes, they even are fairly easy to set up on Linux because they use a piece of software called DOSBox, which is a very portable piece of software for DOS emulation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think you set most of those games up on my computer too, didn't you?
That's right, yep.
Yeah. You know, maybe we'll have to do like a Pool of Radiance series or something, because
well, I've been nagging you for
there's about 4 games in that series, right? When you can import characters from the previous games into the next ones and that kind of thing. Are you finished this level now?
I'm finished this level. And I've been nagging you for a Pool of Radiance series since we started the channel.
Well, there's just so many things to do, right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. We'll have to make a decision, I guess, or maybe put up a poll or something. Maybe once this series is completed, we'll have to put up a poll and say,
Wow,
you know, would
what
you
can I
like
do
to see
for you?
champions or gold box game, or, you know, maybe something else that's similar?
Some such, yeah.
Because it should be, like, this is an older game, and I think that if we, once this one reaches its conclusion, it would be good to have, like, another older game for that kind of retro feel, you know?
Well, there's also always Diablo 2 as well. We could also even continue on
I've
with
never
that.
even played Diablo 2. I wasn't, you know, like, I don't know, I guess by the time Diablo 1 was done with and Diablo 2 came out, there were other games that came out that I was more interested in, right?
Yeah, well, Diablo 2 didn't come out till 1999, and you needed a better PC in order to
I didn't have
play
a good
it.
PC to play that on yet at the time.
Yeah.
In fact, I think I was still playing mostly on consoles then.
But that's okay. But yeah, that's it for this episode by the looks of it. I don't have anything else left to do here. I've got mana potions for the next level.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hell trying to get down to the next level.
Yep.
I might repair the flail before I go.
Yeah, well, I suspect that you'll probably be back down to 1 level per episode again.
Probably.
Because depending on what you meet, though, I mean, if you are well prepared and the type of enemy that you meet up with is something that you're well prepared to handle, well then maybe it won't be that hard.
I have sincere doubts that we will be well prepared.
Yeah.
I do.
Because once you got things figured out here today, it didn't look to me like you really had that hard time, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It really depends. If we encounter strong physical combatants, I'm most scared about the strong physical combatants.
Yeah, well, that's what your stone curse is for, right?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, well, I guess we'll see what happens in the next episode. What fate will bring.
Indeed.
Until then,
I'm RecV5.
and I am Sandman99.
Have a good one.